Order! Ladies and gentlemen, children of Westcott School, Mike Barry, County Chairman of the Royal British Legion, Buckinghamshire, Reverend Mary Cruddas, from whom we're going to hear a dedication in due course, and very importantly, ladies and gentlemen, representing, as he does, as its leader, the Airfields of Britain Conservation Trust. I'm delighted today to welcome amongst our number, and preeminently, Kenneth Bannerman, from whom you'll hear very shortly. It's absolutely delightful on what is, I think, a momentous and prestigious occasion to see such a welcome and large gathering of enthusiastic people for what is quite a rare event. I say quite a rare event. The Airfields of Britain Conservation Trust, as I have just been advised, is really not only the first, but I think pretty much the only national charity specialising in this field of the preservation of airfield heritage. And there have been no fewer than 25 previous memorial unveilings across the country. So this is the 26th, the 27th is shortly to follow, and there is potential scope over a period of years for more than 1,000. But the chances of there being one in your own locality are not particularly high, though of course if you live near to Westcott you are fortunate in that regard. And I have always been conscious of, but not deeply versed in, the history of the Westcott airfield, and therefore I admit to you that it was news to me to be informed that September 2012 would mark the 70th anniversary of the relocation of the 11th OTU, the Operational Training Unit of the RAF, here at the airfield in Westcott, from where it had previously been located in Cambridgeshire. So that happened in September 1942. For more illuminating detail of the work of the airfield between 1942 and its eventual cessation in 1946, you'll have to wait to hear from Kenneth, which very shortly you will do. But I wouldn't want people to be unmindful of the significance of the facility. A lot of incredibly important work was done from here by way of air navigation and indeed leaflet dropping exercises, notably in enemy territory. So there is, if not quite a history of daring do, and some people would say it is a history of daring do, certainly important and dangerous, hazardous work very bravely undertaken from this site. So far as local residents are concerned, I hope you're proud of the significance. If you come from further afield, thank you for making the effort to do so. The Airfields of Britain Conservation Trust deserves our support. I'm told that these exercises and unveilings tend to be conducted with clockwork efficiency, attributable both to Kenneth Bannerman, who likes to do things on time, and to the very perspicacious and effective head of public relations for the Trust, whom I've just met, Jill Brown, who rather intimidatingly pointed out to me that when she is not undertaking this work on behalf of the Trust or other of her public relations activities, she is a practicing boxer. So we all know that we have to be on our best behaviour. I'm delighted to be here on this occasion as your local Member of Parliament, somebody very proud of the wartime successes of this country, without which, children, we might not all be here today, and even if we were, we would not be a free people, because the significance of the Second World War, as you either do know or will soon learn, was the triumphant success of this country against probably the worst, most hideous and destructive regime on the face of the planet, Nazi Germany. Britain, led by Winston Churchill with magnificent forces and tremendous bravery, overcame Adolf Hitler and his racist Nazi regime. So this is a happy day. You will be mightily relieved to know, ladies and gentlemen, that my words are at an end, but those of Kenneth Bannerman, whom I invite you warmly and enthusiastically to welcome, are about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenneth Bannerman.
Thank you all so much for coming, and many thanks to Mr. Berko, who, may I say, has given the most marvellous history already of Westcott Airfield. In fact, he's stolen a lot of what I was going to say. That's really good, excellent history, I must say. Excellent history. Thank you so much. Well, I'm the head of the Airfields of Britain Conservation Trust, which is Britain's and the world's first national airfield charity. And we're absolutely delighted to be here today to unveil our latest memorial to Westcott Airfield. As Mr. Berko has already indicated, this was a very important World War II airfield for training bomber crews. And right from inception in September 1942, primarily Vickers Wellingtons of the unit based both here and at the nearby satellite airfield of Oakley, alongside the motorway nearby, played a crucial role in the winning of World War II through all forms of training, such as daytime flying exercises, nighttime flying ones as well, which were known as bullseyes, and then also leaflet dropping, which was known as nickelling. This also involved at times flying over enemy territory. It's very difficult flying, sadly without loss at times. There was also notably very significant New Zealand involvement, and there are one or two graves in the local cemetery that acknowledge this fact. So this place played a very major role in the winning of World War II. But it wasn't just all training, because right at the end of the war in Europe, Westcott brought back 53,000 former Allied prisoners of war they were being repatriated from as far afield as Italy. And these people, as has been easily recorded, were profusely grateful at coming back to Westcott and one or two other airfields in Britain after tremendous impoverishment through being held captive in places like German prisoner of war camps. That wasn't the end of the story by any means, because although the OTU closed at the end of summer 1945, in the spring of the following year, the airfield was significantly redeveloped for use as a rocket testing and rocket propulsion establishment. And this primarily carried on for several decades, still just to a slight degree, but certainly for several decades this was the primary source of work thereafter. And this was enormously helpful in both military and civil circles with, for example, helping the military with more advanced weaponry, or helping the civilian side of operations with satellites, for example. And now, as we see, it's a very successful industrial park, as we call it, the Westcott Venture Park. This place really matters, but then all of our airfields matter, whether active or disused. Quite simply, we cannot remotely afford to lose these places, because if, in theory, airfields in Britain never even existed, our lives would be immeasurably poorer. As I like to say, you can walk down the street and there are airfield links all around you, whether it's the shops we go into, the food we eat, the water we drink, the fuel that powers our cars and homes, work, recreation, emergency services. The list is practically endless. But sadly, till just very recently, our airfields and all those who served at them were just never given the proper recognition that they so richly deserved. At best, they were just taken for granted, if even that. More often than not, they were seen as useless, utilitarian, just not places of any real value. But thankfully, now to various individuals and organisations such as the Airfields of Britain Conservation Trust, we are now making unquestionably a real difference, not only in saving airfields and honouring them, but also just helping people's lives in so many ways. And rest assured that ABCT, as we call it for short, is making a real difference to people's lives. Everyone from school children to the elderly, from people who, rich and poor, just every walk of life. And this has also been conducted through our tremendously successful 2,000-page website. Easy way to remember it. If you're on the internet, just type in the letters ABCT. It's as simple as that. And Google or Yahoo or any other search engine, and you will find our website, which, as I've just said, we're making a real beneficial difference to people's lives. Now, just before Mr. Berko and I unveil the memorial, thank you again all very much for coming. And I should just say that following the unveiling, there will be a general dedication, a prayer of remembrance and dedication, followed by an exhortation, and then a general blessing. Followed that at 10 to 11, that is now 5 minutes from now, we are hoping to have a fly past by an aircraft of the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight based at RAF Coningsby in Lincolnshire. So hopefully you'll enjoy that as well. So thank you so much for coming, and may I just finally say that please do everything you can to help our airfields, both active and disused, after all they and all the personnel who have served at them have done, not just for their country, but for society in general. It is in your very best interest to do everything you can to try and help them any way you can, because they've helped us so much, and it's now time that they needed a little bit of help in return, but we're certainly making a difference, and just please do everything you can as well. So thank you so much for attending, and therefore I'm absolutely delighted for the two of us that we are now able to unveil this memorial, our 26th, as has just been indicated, to this yet another of our unique places, the one and only Westcott Airfield. Thank you so much. Thank you.
This way, guys.